Hi everyone. So I have with me Jad, which is who is a third year resident here at Southfields.
Hello.
He's about to finish his residency in few months, and we were talking this morning about what to do next and how to find the right job after you finish the residency. And we were just considering some points, which obviously everyone has different consideration. But I thought that it was a interesting, I guess, conversation or points that people probably will have when they finish residency. So what are the points that you thought that, you're going to be considering about the job that you're looking for when you finish residency?
Yeah, so I think the first one that most people would probably think of when finishing their residency is if it's able to stay at the same place or move to somewhere new. And I think there's pros and cons for both. I think having somewhere that's familiar that could be a good option for some people. Um, and but I also think that going to somewhere new where you get to experience different clinicians, different hospitals, different ways of working is also very appealing. I think it's unlikely that most places would still treat you like a resident after you finish your residency. But I know, at least from other people that I've worked with, that was a big contentious part for them. They wanted to go, once they finished their residency, feel like a clinician.
Yeah, and I agree. I don't think that people that when you stay, the people are going to treat you like a resident, but you may feel like a resident also because you are in the same environment. And when you finish the residency, you need to make decisions by yourself, and you have that tendency of like, oh, I'm going to go and discuss a case with someone. So if you have
Mm.
exactly the same environment, you're also going to feel a little bit like, yeah, you have that kind of complex.
Yeah,
um yeah.
and it's like stepping into a new role rather than a slow merge into
Yeah.
something new.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's definitely the first thing that most people think of, and if that's even possible in some cases. And then I think the next thing that I started to think about, or I am thinking about, is the team that I will be joining, the experience of that team. Do they have somebody there that's got a specific interest in a particular field or particular um, like surgery, very competent in surgeries, or very competent with medical, or very competent with research. So I think that's also something really important to think about. Or is it a relatively new team, a relatively new hospital? That's quite exciting. So I think there's pros and cons for both, and it's definitely something that I'm thinking about.
Yeah. And we were kind of a little bit considering also the fact of like mixing maybe academia with private hospital, because I think that the way that you work is quite different when you work in academia. And I was did my residency in university, then I went in private, and then I went in academia for a little bit and then back in private. So you get different things. So I personally think that is a good thing, especially if you're going to be doing your exam the following year. So that year that you are working before you get your exam, if you can, being somewhere where there is other juniors that they are preparing the exam, um, it will be important. I think that it will motivate you. But you also have all people that they have been training people to sit and pass the exam. And I think, yeah, you never like, it's not the job forever. So I will probably say that you need to be thinking, what is it that you want to get in the next 5 years from that job, not like in your next life. And so that's the thing, I guess, that it depends. Have you been working in a team, as you said, that is really strong in surgeries, and now you kind of want to study a little bit more? Or have you been studying a lot and now you want to get a bit more confident with surgeries because then you want to create your own department in 10, 15 years? Or you have a lot of experience, you've been doing this for a long time, and now you really want to create your own department, and then you go to somewhere that maybe is not such established team. Things to consider. We were also talking about salary, and I was saying that wherever he works is going to be a big jump after the residency. So, and also like, what is the life situation? I think that you all guys feel like you're tired and that you want to settle down. But I mean, my sister used to tell me that, and I was like, oh, that's so annoying. It's like you have the rest of your life for routine and to settle down.
Yeah.
And once you settle down, you cannot unsettle down. Well, I mean, you can, but
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's definitely something that we were speaking about. I guess it depends on your life situation, what commitments you have,
yeah,
whether or not you are free to move around. I think, because the residency is hard, right? And I think we've all worked very hard to get to this final stage. You then want to have not a relaxing time, but a little bit of a something to enjoy. And so having, maybe we cut this bit out, but I was thinking along the lines of being close to a support network. I think is quite important. So for me in particular, I think about being close to family and friends. So that's kind of one of the big motivators to stay closer to them. But then we were talking this morning about me not having many commitments, and I'm not got a mortgage, for example. So I am free to move around and should look slightly further afield and not have that as a big limiter, because that's, as you said, not going to be the rest of my life.
yeah. I guess that also, obviously, as people that they will never like to be living in another country, and why would they? Like, but there's other people that they think like, yeah, that's something that I would like to do at some point in my life. So the sooner is seems the easier. Like, yeah, if you don't want to be living in another country or moving away, why would you? Like, it's not needed. Um, but I think that it's normal, that feeling of like after the residency, you want to kind of settle down. But anything that you will do, it will feel like you're settling down. Like, it's like the salary, that will be for sure. But yeah, there's kind of things to consider. And I think that also the big one will be also about what type of team do you go to. Like we were saying, to me, it's important in the team there has to be a mix. So if you're young and passionate and have lots of time, mental time, I mean, then you want to be with someone that maybe has more experience. But if you have more experience, you want to have someone that is young and motivated and has some mental capacity to start doing new things. Um, yeah, I don't think. Yeah, it's. I think it's good to have a mixed of things, mixed of ages and people in the team. But we all learn from everyone, and the more people that you work with, the more you learn.
Yeah, definitely.
For sure.
And then I guess the other thing,
And environments also. It's not just people, also environments.
the environment, exactly. And then I guess also just on that with, being around people that also want to learn. Something that I think about is, do they have an internship team? Do they have a residency?
Yeah.
For people that are still going through that learning and that can keep me on my toes and keep me motivated to
Yeah.
continue to teach as well.
Yeah. I think that really motivates you. And I mean, we only kind of talking on the more like objective side of things. It's true that we, in my head, is like we think after you've done the residency, like gone so such a path of life learning and wanted to improve and be better. So I sometimes maybe I'm a little bit too focused on like, oh, where are you going to go, that you're going to keep learning. And it's not all about that. It's also about well-being. But I also think that it's important, the well-being, but you've kind of gone so far that be a little bit strategic with your next move, because it's normal that you're tired, that again you want to settle down, and and it will feel like that no matter where you work. I mean, at least you're, I don't know, the only guy in the whole country, and then suddenly everyone is sending you the most difficult cases. That will feel, yeah, tough. But I think that anywhere probably is going to feel like better than the residency. Yeah.
Yeah, I think from having the conversation with you this morning, it has given me a lot more to think about, but has reassured me that the the world is kind of my oyster in terms of,
Yeah, exactly.
there's lots of options that are available and lots of things with lots of pros and cons, and it's not to really focus on one thing in particular. Because if a place has lots of A but not a lot of B, I still think that there's going to be benefits of going somewhere new, and it is very exciting.
Exactly. And then that's the thing, that nothing is irreversible, and like nowadays no one stays in a job for the rest of their life. It's for a short period of time, and then that place may be good at this time and the next one will be good at the following time. Like,
yeah,
it is, the times have changed.
Yeah, definitely. And I think just going through the residency myself, seeing, I don't want to say easy, but how easy it was for others to get jobs at the end of their residency, and I guess the industry and the market has changed a little bit. It can be quite daunting to be finishing your residency at this time, but I also think that there's still plenty of positives, and it still be quite exciting if you open your mind in terms of where it is that you want to go.
Yeah, I guess that it's just like if you compare our job to majority of 9 to 5 jobs, where people, they don't need to change where they live when they change jobs, and we do, and we sometimes need to change countries to if we change our job. But yeah, I think that is kind of our profession as a specialist. But specialists, I don't think that there's many. I don't think that in almost any countries people can really not move house and move jobs. I mean, or they may do that, but need to be traveling a lot. So
yeah,
it is. Yeah, it's part of our, I think, our job.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank
we
you.
hope that this is helpful.
Bye.